So our convoy lawyer here is questioning Freeland. Now, I'm not quite sure what this line of questioning is called. You know, we have committee hearings here in the U.S., so I don't even want to take a gander at what this kind of meeting is called. But basically, the government is together, and apparently a citizen lawyer is asking some very hard questions of the information that he has. And so I'm sitting there thinking, as I watched this, I was like, oh, okay. So are they scared yet? Because, you know, that will answer everything. If they're not scared, it's like, oh, okay, so I should be. And we get to this part of the questioning, and this is all about a note that she wrote apparently on official government note-taking paper, handwritten. And we see some very interesting body language.
Is Tamara Lich a terrorist?
In terms of designating who is a terrorist and who isn't, that is not my job as Minister of Finance or Deputy Prime Minister.
So you watch that through and you go back and you look. She's looking down and she's got a smile creeping across her face because she can push this away from her. It's not for me. I know I could take this question, word salad it to you. I don't make those decisions. Okay, yeah, we've all watched the news, so we know what's going on.
Okay.
We have authorities whose job is to do that.
Right. And so it's not your authority to designate Tamara Lich, Chris Barber, Tom Marazzo, or Danny Boldford terrorists. That's somebody else has to do that.
Yes, we have intelligence services. We have enforcement agencies whose job is to determine who is a terrorist. And that's entirely appropriate.
Now you see a little bit of a brain search. It's not going very far. And when she goes to answer that question, she's drawing her body back down into it because as we go through this line of questioning, you'll start to see why that note that I mentioned earlier is going to be center stage. But for this moment, you see that body movement. She's drawing it in. She's putting it in her lap. She's hunching over into her lap. There's something that she's hiding. Well, this is very interesting.
Can I bring up
Can I say one thing about that?
Yeah, just a second. If I can bring up document ssm.cam.000876/rel.001, please. And you can, while he's pulling that up, if you want to add to your answer.
Okay, so that was brought up. You actually kind of see it when she realizes what it is. It hits her screen. She stops looking around. She focuses, takes in a deep breath, and goes back like, uh-oh. Oh, what did I write? Because I know I haven't written very nice things. So you see that it's giving her great stress for this note. Oh, she's got to get away from it. The lips go tight. She's staring it down. She's trying to quickly read. You know, she's written probably a lot of notes. So she's scanning through this one very quickly. One, mentally, the brain is sitting there thinking, how can I get out of this? Two, what is the damage that is in this? And in general, what the hell do I do? So all of this gives great stress. It's like, okay, so you don't want the public to know this. You don't want this particular lawyer apparently to even have it. This stresses you.
Okay, if we can scroll down to...
So now the mouth falls. We see a frown, very sad. It's hard to sit there and why that emotion goes with this, because it was like, you know, sad. It's like the face falls. I wouldn't call it really defeat because the arm is up on the hip. She's scratching her chin, but the face falls. It's like mentally she's gotten punched in the face, but she's still got her fist up to fight. It's a very odd mix.
Page, I believe this is a note with Dave.
So now we're looking around, we're looking everywhere, looking off away from the screen, looking at people in general around the room. She's looking for help. She wants help from her colleagues.
What page? 12? Page 12, please.
She's desperately looking to help, and you see the tick is starting to come in right at that last moment. It's very slight, but the tick is there. It's starting to come in. So a lot of stress. And then we have that very sad face that keeps playing through. You know what? It may be distress that we see that may look in her face as sadness. It's distress.
And this is a note that I understand you wrote with Dave from CSIS.
A lot of face touching, a lot of scratching, a lot of hiding the mouth.
That's 11. And this is a meeting with Dave from CSIS.
So he brings up CSIS. Immediately we're doing negative head shake, and she's looking for help. And we're getting even more stress. So negative head shake doesn't necessarily mean that he's wrong. It's just no. Either pushing it mentally away. She's already come up with her plan to deny. I won't put last names on here because they're unidentifiable. No. That's her out. Remember, she was reading this thing as soon as it came up, trying to figure out what her out was going to be.
And if you scroll down.
So we have a little bit of a mix of emotion. The embarrassment from the other government people that, oh, I've been found out. And she wants to hide from that, but at the same time wants to stand firm. And now we see some smiles. The mouth has gone back from its sad face of distress to a tight-lipped hiding face.
Going.
And then you hear her do, and you see it physically. She's got allies. She's not alone. And now she's going to shore up her position against you.
Okay. And there you say that you need to designate the group as terrorists. So, but it's not your job, but you wanted to designate them as terrorists, right?
So that handwritten note in my notebook, I can assure you that was not a meeting with the director of CSIS, with whom I didn't have a meeting.
It says, it's, okay, it's with David Vignon from CSIS.
It doesn't say that. It says it's with a gentleman called Dave.
Which Dave?
That.
Okay, so good on you, sir. Here's something we haven't discussed in a very long time. So she already had her answer pre-done. Remember, she was reading it to try and look for her out. Doesn't say Dave, blah, blah, blah. It just says David. That's who it's talking about. So he comes back with, which Dave? And the brain stops. Everything kind of stops. It's not for very long, but it stops. And it's trying to figure it out. Oh, well, I didn't think that one through. So who is this David? When you see pauses like this, it's because they're mentally trying to dig out something for you. They've got to think out an answer. And basically, it's just another indicator that there's probably deception going on. They've either got severe brain damage and their memory is really, really bad. And so they have to think about it for a while to bring up a memory. Or in her case, she's lying. She's being extremely deceptive. And she's got to pause it out and think up something to say.
Meeting, that is not an account of meeting with Dave Vigneault because I didn't have.
And the other tactic that they like to do, that is not an account of David Vigneault. I did not have sexual relations with that woman. She's saying it very, very slowly. The brain is trying to think while the mouth is moving. And you know this because the pauses in between the words are much longer than just flowing speech, which is a huge indicator for, making it up as you go. We won't necessarily say deception on that, but making it up as you go. And she's definitely making it up as she goes.
Which Dave is in those notes?
With the CSIS director.
Which Dave is in those notes? What's Dave's last name?
I need to see my whole notebook that you're referring to, but I can tell you for certain.
It only says Dave.
I can tell you for certain that I did not have a meeting during this time with the CSIS director.
Okay, so
I need to see the whole notebook. It only says Dave. Now, come on, people. Let's use some logic here. If you write something like this on an event that was as big as this, you know who the hell you're talking to. It's not rocket science. She's feigning stupidity and apparently brain damage with memory loss. But as we've gone through it already, you know that's not the case, and you're now seeing her tactics for getting through. So all the times that you've seen Freeland, we've done her before, when her speech flows so nicely, when there's no pauses, when there's no stress, when she doesn't have her distressed look, she's in complete control. And I should say they are in complete control. The world is right in her world. And here in this realm, we're seeing a lot of stress. This particular document has taken away her control, and she was desperately looking for help in dealing with this.
I can exclude that 100%.
I'm just going to, this isn't a document, I don't need to bring it up, but you stayed in the House, Mr. Speaker. The members opposite has just used the bad apple excuse. She has excused the desecration of the national. Yes?
My friend is saying he's referring to something that the Deputy Prime Minister said in the House.
Yeah.
There's an objection there for parliamentary privilege.
This is a parliamentary commission. There is no parliamentary privilege.
There you go. Now you get an idea of what's going on and you see where they're all sitting. And you obviously see now the cavalry has come to help her, which is why you don't see any more stress from her after she sit there and found somebody to give her either a look of it's okay, a body language, a mouth. We don't really know because we didn't see it. We just saw the movement from her body as it relaxed in and got firm in its ground. What we're going to be looking for in this series is the reality of it. Do we see appropriate emotions for all of this? Do we see a skeptic turning into a believer? Do we see liars? Do we see deception? That is what we're looking for. I tell you what, I've never actually really believed in this whole alien thing. But I tell you what, after I watched this show, started thinking about things a little bit differently.
That's crazy.
If you like it, please share and subscribe. Thanks for watching.